Okay, so I've been doing my tumblers in a convection oven and they were doing fine, but this is I was told that a press would be quicker. Awesome. Except that it has cost me a little over $50, $60 now to test and figure out exactly where my press needed to be listed because all the guidelines say light to medium pressure. But unfortunately, nobody actually tells you what that looks like. Now, you do see it in some videos where you see a little bit of pressure, etc. Sometimes you see it in how long the screws are on the side where the heating element is. But nobody actually comes down and says, this is where I started. Here's how big the gap is, etc. So I'm going to show that to you right now. Like everybody else says, do this cold. Do not do this while your machine is on, okay? So as you can see, I have a Heat Press Nation tumbler press with the 20 to 30 ounce press sleeve in here, okay? Now, from the side, let's show you that. Okay, you can see that the front pressure plates are not engaged, right? So there's that lovely gap, and you can see it all the way through. Okay, you can see that this is just a blank. I haven't peeled the sticker off of it or anything like that to make sure I don't do anything weird with heat. Okay, and you can see obviously that it is off. All right, now the other thing I'm going to tell you need to have a ruler. Okay, now these presses, like everything else, seems to be made in to European standards. Okay, in that case, it means metric. So make sure the ruler you're using is metric. It will be much easier, I promise. Okay, so I have this set already to the proper setting for my tumblers. Now, your tumblers may be a little bit different depending on where you're buying them. Okay, so here we go. One hand on it, and it's going to press, and it's just going to have a little bit of a clunk. See that? Awesome, right? Okay, cool. So with it closed, right, I'm going to place my ruler right there. Okay, now my press, where the screw side is, it's 3.3. Okay, and that's with my ruler flush against the opposite side. Now, some rulers, that's going to vary because they don't always start their measurements at the very edge, like this one doesn't. But that's okay. This is the ruler I'm going to use with my machine, and so long as I know where it's supposed to be, I can always set this, no matter what I'm pressing. Okay? Now, I started this with an inch gap, okay? So let's see. You see this? See where the inch is and how far out this is? Right? It's like an inch and a half. That's the proper setting for my tumblers. Now, I advise, if you're like me and have never used a tumbler press before, start here and work your way in, as in increasing the pressure, and work your way out a little bit, okay? Because nobody wants to spend that kind of money. I made 5 different tumblers at different settings trying to figure out where it needed to be. Now, with this Heat Press Nation tumbler, their guidelines say to start at 365 temp for 65 seconds, turn, press again. Okay, that's pretty typical for a tumbler in a tumbler press. Now, the guidelines for my substrate for this tumbler that I'm using actually say 380 degrees. I find that with my tumbler, that actually burns them. So, 365, 65 seconds at this 3.3 centimeter pressure works for me. I wish this video had existed before I started, because it would have saved me some time and money, and I wouldn't have spent $60 on this. I would have spent $30 in tumblers, figured out my press, and been good. So, good luck. Have fun.